Welcome entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs to our fourth class. This is the fourth delivery of our course Traditional Marketing, and in this class we're talking about relationship marketing. Hi, my name is Juan LLerena. I'm a marketing consultant, engagement and motivator, motivational speaker. I'm also an entrepreneur and a WordPress expert. So let's dig in. Customer loyalty, service, customer satisfaction, customer care, technical support, integrity, trust, all these words, which are summarized in customer loyalty. And nowadays, we're learning that the newer generations aren't as loyal as before to traditional brands because their loyalty is based on their experience. And their experience can really be determined by your support, by your customer service, and all these intangibles that will really make you set apart from your competition. So let's start by looking at the definition of what is relationship marketing. So here we have a definition by Angela Hausman, and the definition says relationship marketing is a strategy designed to foster customer loyalty, interaction, and long-term engagement. This customer relationship management (CRM) approach focuses more on customer retention than customer acquisition. Okay, so we're actually looking at the long-term picture. Once you spend all the time and effort into acquiring one customer, it's so much easier and so much cheaper for you to maintain a good relationship with this customer and convert this customer into a recurring customer, into a loyal customer, into one of your best customers, than trying to just get one-time sale and then try to focus on capturing another sale. Okay, but it's supposed to be an honest approach in focusing in a true honest objective of creating a good experience and a good relationship with your customer, where the sale and where the revenue and all that comes with is just a byproduct of these relationships. Okay, we have said in the past that that people likes to purchase and consume businesses, goods and services from businesses, from the people that they know, from someone who has a relationship. Okay, and we need to look at these interactions with our customers all along the process, from the moment they actually discover us and to the moment where they actually can complete a purchase, whether it's consume a service or buy a product from us. So again, it's important to realize and to mention that it focuses more on retention than in customer acquisition. Okay, so it's a long-term view, which I really like, and I really think that it's a very wise way to look at your business in the long term. Also, this relationship marketing can also be translated and applied not only to your clients or customers, but also to your suppliers and to your coworkers. Okay, so we're gonna be looking into this and how we can create good relationships with our customers. Okay, so let's see. One of them is inbound marketing. And inbound marketing is a technique where you actually put information about your business or your product or a particular topic, something that you know, something that you're good at, that is going to help solve somebody else's problem. Okay, and the goal is to attract strangers, as we can see in this picture here, to attract strangers, people that don't know about you, through different techniques, whether it's SEO, SEM, mobile responsive websites, via blogging, on social media, and with different content, and transform those strangers into visitors. Okay, so then they want to know about you, and then through these honest relationships, we can convert them through call to actions, forms, and landing pages into leads, into really good, solid leads. So we can close sales via email marketing, CRM integration, and different other techniques and strategies like lead sourcing, lead nurturing, and drip marketing into customers. Okay, and transform not only customers for one time, but like we said, on the long term as recurring customers, focusing on the long-term relationship, okay, whether this is through post-service or just to transform them into fans, into big promoters from our brand and from our products, okay, by giving them an outstanding experience, whether it's through the entire process or through all these different information contact that we have with our customers along this process. Okay, and this we have to focus that this relationship doesn't end on the sale, but actually goes beyond to continue this relationship post-sale. And the ideal goal is to have these customers transform into fans, into promoters of your brand by telling their friends, and you know how powerful this is. Okay, and usually we can focus on email marketing, email engagement with new additional information, new tips, and care for the different products, or the additional information on how what new things you're coming out with, and just maintaining this long-term relationship with the customers that makes their life easier and that continues solving their problems through an individualized and personalized contact, service, communication method. We realize of the power of the social engagement and through social media, and how people are motivated when they're passionate about a product or anything they're the best wants to sell. It's worth $1 million to get a customer testimonial or someone talking honestly and out of their own desire about your brand or your product or your experience. So if it's a good experience, those are the best tools you can use to continue promoting your product. Okay, so everything is related and is connected. So the first thing we're gonna see is interaction. Okay, and interaction is important for this relational marketing or relationship marketing because once the customer searches for what you have to offer and you get found, then there are ways where online you can actually interact with your customers, whether it's with like live chat or live video. And you can create different methods and ways to continue this relationship or to foster a better communication process with your customer. For instance, you can do you can use a CRM software to register all this communication back and forth with your customer, where you can get to know more about them and know what their particular challenges are, what are their most important preferences, what are their likes or dislikes. Do they like what kind of shipment do they like? Do they are they having what is the most important thing for them? Is the service, is the time, is the quality of the product. Are they looking to save money? Are they looking to get the highest quality? Are they looking for both? Anything you can learn more about this customer, even to a more personal level, that it can help you get an honest relationship with them and transparent communication. It must be recorded through a CRM software. WordPress is a good starting tool, but there are some other tools that actually will allow you to do more with this data. But CRM, or customer relationship management software, will allow us to analyze different trends. We can learn where are our customers. We may learn where do we manage our relationship with our customers. How often are these relationship and these communications happening. Like for instance, you can learn if this customer likes to purchase once a week, once a month, once every 2 months. You can determine different patterns. You can establish which ones are the customers that have special needs, or which ones are the high maintenance customers, so you can actually have a specific people that can deal with them, because they will need a little more attention and there will be a little higher maintenance, which is not necessarily a bad thing if you can actually upsell or dedicate more resources to it, as long as you can get more return into your investment as well. Okay, and just anything that can foster a better relationship with your customer, that lets you learn more about them and have more information at your disposal to be able to create more better campaigns that are customized to each one of your customers. The experience, it is important because we need to create experiences for our users, okay? And we use this information that we have built on before from this communication process to create these interactions, okay? And these interactions are looking to solve their problems, which really is the experience of our customer. If we know our customer is a customer that doesn't have a lot of time, that they just want like a one-click payment option, for instance, and we can deliver that to them, we're solving their problem. Like, we're making them happy. We are really hitting, the sweet spot with our business, and we can at least guarantee that this will be a returning customer, or at least that person or that customer might be able to tell their peers within their networks, within their company and with their colleagues. They might be sharing about that awesome experience they can have with you. And online marketing allows you to do that. You need to add value to what they need. So I typically like to say, you have to kind of undersell, under promise when you're selling for your customer, but over deliver. You have to surprise them. You have to create a good experience from the moment you answer to their emails or their communication, if it's via chat or via text or via email or through a phone call, in a timely manner, in a respectful way, in a way that you show compassion, but you also show that you sympathize with what their problem is and you take it seriously. So you deliver a good experience to them. And believe me, bots can do this nowadays. Can you just imagine, someone's house have burned, and you're into the business of, you have an insurance agent, and then somebody calls, and then you go through like a bot robot that it takes the call and it tries to kind of connect them with the right person or whatnot. But that can be compared with the experience of having someone on the other side of the line, and then just sympathizing with the problem, and then just reassuring them that everything will be okay, asking them if their family is okay, and just kind of giving them some peace of mind. That's an experience that can be replicated, and that you can make it unique and really stand out from your competition. So that's why the relationship marketing, relational marketing, it can be so powerful and so important for your business to again retain customers and have them come over and over again and consume your services and your products. And you can use these relationships to learn more about your customers and about what their needs are, and maybe even expand new lines of services or lines of products if you know what kind of consumer these are that you're working with. For example, if you have a restaurant and you notice that there are less visits from a particular customer, you can probably offer a different solution to cater to your customer. Maybe this customer is getting off from work later, and now they're having to bring lunch, or maybe they just have to order over the phone, and you don't do that. Well, like if you notice that your customer isn't showing up as they used to, like once a week or every day or whatever the case might be, and you have a way to get back to them via an email or maybe via chat or via SMS or a text message, and you can learn more, and then you can let them know, hey, we noticed we haven't seen you lately, and we have missed you. Is there something that we could have done better to improve this, or is there a reason why, or maybe how we can help you overcome whatever difficult it is for you to be able to continue coming as your valued customer, and blah blah blah. And maybe they will tell you something more, or maybe they will share that their lunchtime has changed, or maybe maybe they won't tell you that they're experiencing like a bad time with their economy or something, or maybe they're not working as many hours as before, and now they're bringing lunch. But maybe if you get to establish a more personal relationship with your customers, but in a professional way, well, you might probably be able to offer like a specific like a special menu, or like a happy hour offering or something, that it will let them know that they're important to you, and that you are also willing to kind of make a little bit of a sacrifice for them, because I can guarantee you that the moment that things kind of go back on track for them, you are going to be on their top of their list, and they will really appreciate that personalization and customization of your business and services to the customers more and more. And that's the power and that's the value of relationship marketing. It might also help you diversify your products and services, as you already know what they're struggling with, what are their new challenges or their new experiences, or different things. So the experience is really, really difficult to copy. Anybody can copy, some sort of like a fast food product, or a general service in general. But the experience by itself, how authentically you can greet somebody, or you can show your passion for what you're doing. Not everybody can do it if they don't really have that passion. They're gonna have to work through it, and that experience is also a part of the expression of your culture in your business. So that's so hard to replicate, and this is something that you can really hang on, hang your head on, and really develop to the point where your customers really love your brand, and they become fans, and the best promoters of your business with these experiences. The next thing we're going to talk is the differentiation, because relationship and relational marketing create a specific differentiation because it allows you to be unique by being unique with your customer relations. And then we can mention what USP is. And USP is a unique selling proposition. It has to always be based in what your customer needs. And that's how you can really create a point of differentiation, because if you know your customers and you really know them well, then you can really develop a product or a service that is really going to satisfy those needs. So it's so basic, and to a certain point it's so logical, and it makes a lot of sense, but a lot of businesses don't do it. They just have a product and they just roll with it, and they just aren't seeing really how the market is changing and how the new generations are really looking to be served in a different way than before. And those customers are just going to go somewhere else. So if you are actually smart enough to realize this, and to actually be able to not only know it but also implement it into your business model, and how you're servicing your customers, and how you're approaching those relationships with your customers, again in a professional but personalized, friendly way, then you're already winning. And this relation between one person and another person is so important, because it can really be so personal and so close to your customers. Now this, again, if you can harvest this information in an organized way, again in an authentic way and in an honest relationship, you can leverage this to help you differentiate with your customers' preferences. So right there you're already winning. You're creating a different experience, and that's setting you aside and apart from the rest, from the rest of the pack. So you're getting the lead, what we call an unfair advantage. Let's look back in history. Like the Greeks would be able to know their customers as they deal with them. Like they will be like selling at the marketplace, and the shoemaker was making shoes, and the butcher was cutting meat and whatnot, and they knew their customers by their name, and they knew how often they came, and they knew if they had families, if they had kids and everything. And this is like how long ago the Greeks did it, and now the same thing applies nowadays with these customer relationships. Even though we have computers and a lot of transactions are happening, like on the cloud and on between devices and on the internet, then we still have the opportunity with digital marketing to create a point of differentiation. And we can think of how it used to be when, let's say, not even that far, when we used to go to the grocery store or to the gas station, and the clerk will just greet us by our own name. Like myself growing up, I would just go to get get my ride to work, or go catch the bus to get to work. And the newsstand, the guy that worked at the newsstand that was selling the newspapers there, he was there every day, 7 days a week. He would know my name. I would just say hi. Sometimes we will talk with them. He will know my family, my dad, and and it was so close. I wouldn't go if I was gonna buy a paper. I wouldn't go somewhere else. I wanted to buy from him because I knew this guy was my friend, or he wasn't necessarily my friend, but it was somebody that I knew, and it was just more personal. So we have to find ways to use technology, but still it's necessary the presence of humans, and this is just gonna take very long if we ever get to perfection. IA, AI, I'm sorry, artificial intelligence, and the use of bots, but those are going to help by being able to provide answers and information the customers need to a certain degree. But when they need something different, when they have a specific need, and they don't have all the time in the world to be waiting for like 20 different voicemails or different options to get through to the operator. People want to talk to people. People want to deal with people many times. It's just much better that way. So it's just it's just so impressive how powerful that can be. Or I can remember like going to the hair salon, and then just kind of getting a haircut to the hair place, and knowing the lady, if I would go with my mom or my sister, the lady that would do her hair, she would know just about anything. She would know the family. They would talk just about anything. The relationship became just so personal for that one half an hour to an hour, 2 hours time that they had to do something with the hair. And they would just come back once and again to the same person. And if she wasn't there and there will be other people, they will just come back and try to set an appointment with her, only because they had developed this trust and this relationship that it was just so hard to imitate or to replace. So it was really, really interesting. Now, online marketing also allows us to segmentate. So we're gonna talk a little bit about segmentation. And you need to segmentate your groups of customers into subgroups of customers, and this will allow you to personalize even better. So for instance, if you're sending an email on a email marketing campaign, and you're sending this new newsletter, you're trying to inform of a new release of a new version of your software, or you have a new sale coming up soon, or you're announcing like different hours, anything that you want to inform your customers, and you have this email marketing list. But let's say you're selling, you're a developer and you're selling like different services. You do serve, a group of customers that are into like accounting, bookkeeping, in that industry, and some are like customer retails. They're like using like POS, backend software and things like that. So there's like two different customers. So if you make an upgrade into your accounting software, for instance, you don't need to let everybody know that you're changing that, and the new release can be a subgroup only for the customers that are actually interested in that type of product and not everything. If you're just let's say you are offering like a new hotline, customer support phone line, and this is good for all the customers in both segments of your both subgroups of your customers that you have in your email marketing database. You can definitely email blast that to all of them. But the more you can personalize, the better. It's the same as having a good quality database with names and everything. And instead of saying, "Dear customer, we are calling you because we noticed you're overdue ordering your, your medication, that you order once a month and you haven't show up lately. Would you need us to reorder for you, for instance?" Wouldn't it be better if you could just say, "Dear Mark," or "Dear Mary," or "Dear Clark," or "Dear John, we have noticed that you haven't been here in the last 31 days. And for Mary, maybe, we haven't seen you here in the last 28 days, and your prescription is due in 2 days. Would you need us to reorder once again, or feel free to stop by our store? This is "Hi Mary, this is a friendly reminder that your prescription will be due in 2 days. Please stop by our, counter, and, we'll promptly, prepare your order for you," or something like that. Or click this button, and then we'll fill your prescription and we'll ship it right to you. You'll have it on time. Things like that will really allow you to create this special connection and this personalized um, service and customization for your customers by segmenting. Like if you have a clothing store, you're selling clothing, and then you have like a line of men's and women's and kids. Well, you don't want to let men's know that there's a new sale on, say, women's clothing, for instance. Why? Unless you know that that person has a family. But if you don't, then it might be better that you only send the relevant information for the customers that are more inclined to purchase that product because they have bought it before or they have shown some kind of an interest. Okay, so the more that you can segmentate your customers and your messages to your customers, digital marketing allows you to do that, and it can be so much more rewarding because your efforts are going to be better, will have a better return in your investment, in your time and your efforts. Typically, a CRM software allows you to manage these customer relations. Okay, personalized advertising is information for your customers now. Okay, so you need to give them, your customers, not just like push sales, push sales, but also just give them information and then just tell them how they can sell with your products. You're gonna see a complete different approach and a different interest in your customers because you won't be pushing for sales. They'll be coming to you for a solution, and you will sell them the solution. CRM also allows you to know our customers or your customers' preferences. How what their purchasing patterns are, if they have not purchased lately, and so on. Like I have explained before, how do we know our customers' needs? Okay, so sometimes we just want to know, and there's like many different ways to know that, such as with, for instance, Aweaver, MailChimp, and Constant Contact. These are ways that we can stay in touch with our customers. You just need to know how to use it and how to better utilize it. So having said that, I will remind you that we have an online marketing or a digital marketing course as well with 10 classes. So that's a must for you. So that will probably be the next class, the next course you need to take after you finish with traditional marketing. But to learn more about our customers, you can ask them via forms, and there's many ways to do this, different platforms and software. We're not gonna get into detail for that, but there are ways to do that. The important part is that you start a relationship with your customers, and then that you can maintain that relationship long term. For instance, like in a conventional store, the customer comes in, they come in, they shop, and then they leave. But we never have it's very hard that we have an opportunity to ask them, how things went, what did we do right, what did we do wrong, what kind of things did you like. You just can't do that. With e-commerce, you can reach out to your customers and you can send them like a satisfaction surveys and ask them with email marketing, for instance, with an incentive or something. We can segment your customers and ask, what we did right, what they liked, and what they didn't. And we can see if the returning customers, versus the customers that haven't bought for a while, will you have the same message for them? So even two customers that are buying the same type of product, but one has bought consistently in the last 6 months, every other month, and the other one hasn't bought in 4 months, would the message be the same for each one of them? Of course not, because each one is going through a different stage on the business. Maybe they're buying from somebody else. Maybe something happened. Maybe their business is changing. Maybe they're no longer in business. So if you can develop and you can harvest this relationship with your customers, then you are already winning. So it is important that you kind of focus on that. We're going to talk about trust, and this is really important because these relationships need to be, again, honest and transparent, and they have to be built with the customer in mind, not with the sale in mind. Yes, you want to sell, but I can almost guarantee you that the sale is going to be a byproduct, provided that you do everything right along the process to nurture these relationships and to be able to close the sales. But trust is so key because people buy from their friends, but not just because they like them only, but also because they trust them. Okay, so trust is such an important and keyword in this case because the relationship links and reinforces, and is reinforced by trust. Okay, now it's human nature to talk with, it's not human nature to talk with robots or machines. it's more of human nature to talk with humans. Although generations are changing a little bit, there's a point where the value of talking to a person and having a person understand and relate to somebody else's problem, it still hasn't been imitated yet. But with trust, you need to make sure that you build this relationship, creating and reinforcing again trust with your customer. And so, for instance, when you are receiving an email from a customer, you can set a like a canned response, and many times we can do that too, just so we acknowledge that we have received a message, and then we're gonna get back to them. But when we are actually writing those emails for our customers to let them know that we understand their problem and that we're gonna do the best we can to solve their problem in a timely manner, in a way that is fair and just to them. We need to be more personal. We need to be a little more warm with the way we respond to them. As I suggest, always to be professional, but be sensitive to what the needs are, and this language and this interaction, even like responding in a more personalized way via email, it reinforces trust. Okay, and the more we interact with our customers, the most trust that we create. So it is important that we nurture these relationships based on trust for our customers to satisfy their needs and their products and their needs and wants, right, with our products and services. People like to do business or purchase from the people they know and trust. Okay, so that is important to remember. Satisfy. There are many tools to manage the information about your customers and the relationships. So the more you grow, the more you grow as a business, the harder there is for you to manage and personalize these messages or these relationships with your customers, and what you talk to them. So it's easier if you have like 10 or 50 customers, if you could keep track of that. But when you start growing and you have like customers in the hundreds or the thousands, can you imagine the heavy load that is to just be able to personalize that service and to give them divided attention to each one of your customers, because they all deserve it, right? If they're paying, then they deserve the best service you can give, because that ensures that they're going to continue the relationship with you, and that is important. But the more you grow, the harder it's going to become to be able to maintain these relationships as personalized as when you were smaller. So it is important that you keep this word satisfy, that need of your customers or your clients, to give them that undivided attention. And you have to resource to the tools and the digital tools that there are. So again, we'll get to that at some point later. But it's important that you understand that this is something that you just can't oversee. The relationship doesn't end when the customer buys. Actually, when the customer buys, then it's the beginning of a new relationship, because you already have earned someone on your side, and now you have to keep them there. Okay, and again, remember, it's cheaper to keep someone on your side after they have bought and they have tried you and they have liked you, than to try to go out and they just forget about this customer that just bought from me, and then just focus on my energy that is going to cost me more time, more money, and more effort and more energy just to get a new customer. Okay, so it's important that satisfaction is key for what your customer expect from you, not only from the product or service, but also from the relationship. Loyalty is changing, my friends, and then the old way of just being loyal to a brand because I bought it when I was a kid, then I'm gonna buy it forever, is no longer true. It no longer applies, particularly with the newer relationships, with the newer generations. With the younger generations, loyalty is based on positive experiences with your brand, with your product, with your service, with the post sale service, with your technical support. From the moment they get in touch with your brand, whether it's online or retail in a brick and mortar store. So let's say you know your client, and your client knows you. So that's already a relationship. So if you really know your client, then you know what they need and what they like and what is that you need to fulfill in order for you to satisfy that customer's need. Now, when there is this relationship, then we're assuming that there is trust, because there can be a relationship, if there is no trust. Once your customers and your clients are in this relationship and they feel it's a fair relationship, an honest relationship, and there is trust, they're going to become your fans if you are really offering great products and services, which we hope that you are. They will talk to you, they will let you know what they're thinking, and what's even better, they will talk to someone else about you. Okay, and that's great. For example, just think for a second of Apple. Okay, I'm not a Apple fan. I openly say it. I think they're great products, but I'm a Android and a Windows user. I always have been. I haven't had the need to change. I can do just about anything the people that I know can do on a Mac. I can do it on Windows, and I can do it on my smartphone, and I'm just really happy about that. I feel I have more options. And the quality of the work that I produce is equally as good or even better. It really doesn't matter. It's just the amount of time and effort that is being put into, and the talent that we put in, our passion into, using these tools anyways. But if you think about how the Apple fans are just like fans of their brand, they can go and start a line before the new iPhone comes out. Let's say the new XYZ iPhone comes out. They're probably gonna be in line, hours, maybe days before the sale. Maybe they will pre-order. They're gonna rave about their Mac, and they're gonna just tell you that is the best, that is the easiest, interface, that there's only one button. Okay, now if you're not an Apple user, and then you're an Android or a Windows user and try to use a Mac, then you're gonna see that it's not quite as simple, just because you're not used to. It's the same thing when an Apple user tries to use an Android or a Windows-based program. There's a learning curve, and it works both ways. But the point being here is that their loyalty is so large, just because Apple has really, they have understood at some point that what these customers, what their fans and their core users are looking for is, to have an edge, to be different. They don't mind paying a little extra. They actually like to get the status of using a Mac, and then just opening, their phone or their laptop, and all of a sudden, whoa, you have a Mac, which is really cool. I don't have a problem with that. Really, to me, it doesn't impress me as much, but I respect that. I think it's awesome for the quality of the branding that Apple has really teaches. They're one of the best and what they do, and they're always coming up with new products and just kind of trying to stay on top, as many other companies are doing too. But if the moment your customers can talk about your brand and talk good about your brand, then that is worth, millions, because no matter how much money you spend talking about your business and talking about what you do, who cares? The reality is nobody cares what I talk about, what I do, or what I say about me. It really is better what other people say about me. If it's good, it's great. If it's not good, well, guess who they're gonna believe? Are they gonna believe others about my poor quality of work, or my good high standards, good ethical standards for the work that I do? Okay. With loyalty also comes online reputation tools. You need to keep monitoring what people are saying about your brand online on social networks, and you can do this on Google. You can actually have have you ever set up like auto reminders or auto emails when somebody looks for you online, or if there's a new article that it has your name on it or your brand, or if somebody is talking about you and hashtag you, or on social media, say on Twitter or Instagram, and for some reason it's impossible that you can be monitoring that every second. So there are tools like Hootsuite and other tools as well. Many are free, where you can actually track and you can get an email or a notification that somebody's talking about you, and this is really good, because if somebody's talking to you in a negative way, it might give you an opportunity to do it right, to fix whether there was a misunderstanding, or maybe because you didn't deliver what you have offered in the first place. So you need to make things right. And at the same time, that if somebody that is raving about your product, about that awesome service you provided, you made your day, you solve their problem, you save them time, you save them money, whatever the case might be. And they talk about you, wouldn't that be awesome that you can use that to let other people know that you have made somebody's day? How powerful that is, right? And in turn, well, you get more leads, more visitors, new clients, which is the byproduct of this relational marketing or relationship marketing that we've been discussing all about. So this is how everything is related. It would be impossible to cover relationship marketing in just one class, to be quite honest with you. But we try to keep these classes as practical as we can be, so you can understand and grasp the concept. So then later on, you can look at it on the actual online, digital world and see how you can actually do this. And that's what we're going to try to do, move from a little bit of the theory into a little bit more of the understanding of how it works in the online marketing world, and then we can talk about the tools and recommend some of the ways of doing it, and maybe at some point later on getting into hands-on and show you how to do it. Okay. But that's just the power of customer relationships, and I hope that by now you understand how valuable that is and how important that is for your business. Again, we ask you to let us know how we're doing. We hope that you join our community. That if you're still looking to improve your skills, then the best time to start is not today, it's not tomorrow, it's yesterday. Okay, so if you want to really create a change in your life and you want to have the skills you need to, get to that new position, to have an opportunity at that new job opening you've been dreaming of doing. Or if you are, that entrepreneur that wants to, do new things at work, to create some positive change, improve, morale in your work, improve communication, and, help sell better the good culture of your company, satisfy more clients, or you have that little, little thing inside you that wants to make you an entrepreneur and start your own business. You have this great idea that you've been thinking about, but you don't know how to get it started. Well, right now is the moment that you start improving your skills, and I want to congratulate you because you're finishing the 4th class of this course of marketing, traditional marketing. And I have to give you a lot of credit because the moment you start working on yourself, that really shows that you really care about what you think and what you do. Okay, it's not enough to just wish that you would be doing something, but actually to take the time and do it when there are so many other things you can do. I want to congratulate you, and I want to encourage you to continue learning and continue improving your skills. And if we accomplish that, then I'm just super, super happy. Okay, so we invite you to connect with our community, to improve your sales, to start your business, to learn WordPress, to be a better entrepreneur and grow and maybe start as an entrepreneur as well. And I invite you to contact us. Again, this is nothing new. I invite people to go to our website, jlbmedia.com, and fill out the contact form if you have a question, a suggestion. If you are interested in a particular course and in a particular class, please let us know. We'll be happy to look into it. And if we have a lot of interest, we are more than likely to do it. Again, my name is Juan LLerena, and I invite you to follow us on the next class coming up soon. So it is important that you let us know how you like this, and we appreciate it. Okay, you have a great day and see you at the next class.